Hello you guys, I wanted to share some of my 2020 favorites with you because it is already 2021, and so I came up with some categories to share some of my favorites with you. So let's jump right in. The first category is books, and my first book on my list is Harry Potter y la Piedra Filosofal, and so I've actually read this book in English as well, but I wanted to read it in Spanish and see just like how they translate like all the emotions and everything into Spanish, since it's different from English. And so I also listened to part of it on audiobook, and so that was really nice. When I was busy, I could just listen to it while I was doing something else. And so that is one of the first books I read. And the second book is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and it's a 3-part series, and it's about this one girl who lives in this world where there are people that are born without powers, and then there's some that are born with special talents. And she grew up her whole life thinking that she was nothing special, but then she finds out that she has this special talent, and she becomes one of the ones who is trying to dispel these dark creatures in this certain part of the land. And so it goes over in the 3-part series how she's trying to help get rid of the monsters in that land. And this one is also by Leigh Bardugo. It's Six of Crows. I don't know, you may have heard of it. It's been really popular, and it is a follow-up series of the previous one, and it is also set in the same land, but this time it's about this one boy who is gathering a team of specialized people who are also young like him, and they are going to try to make it rich through some big heist that they have to overcome so many obstacles just to get to it. The fourth and final one is The Dark Heart by Joachim Palmqvist. If I pronounce that wrong, so sorry. It is a book based in Europe. It is based on a true story. It is about this rich older man who suddenly goes missing and there's no trace of him. And this detective decides to try and figure out the truth. So I found that very interesting. I wouldn't say it's like super, like it's not so fast paced because it is based on the true story. My second category is movies, except that I only have one movie on my list because I do not watch that many movies. And I'm pretty sure I watched more movies this past year, but I just could not remember any of them. But I do remember watching Kisengchung, or Parasite in English, and since it was such a award-winning movie, lots of my friends recommended it to me, so I finally watched it. Even though it came out in 2019, I finally watched it this year, and I was super interested in seeing the class clashes and how the poorer class is interacting with the richer class. The third category is TV shows, and I separated it into 4 different subcategories because I watch lots of TV shows and listen to a lot of music as well in different languages, and so I separated it into Korean, English, Chinese, and Spanish. So the first subcategory is Korean. I watch Running Man a lot. It's a variety show. They are completing many challenges throughout the show. They also invite lots of actors and idols onto the show and other famous people to help compete in the challenges that they go through. So that's the first one. The second one is Psychojiman Quintana, which is a romantic kind of, not thriller, but kind of a sort of mystery. It is about this one guy who his life is pretty stable, and then he meets this one woman who like turns his life upside down. The third one is Akikot, and its name in English is Flower of Evil, and it is a crime thriller drama, and it's really good because it deals with this killer who is suspected to be the main lead, and his wife is a cop, and so it deals with like the dynamic of his like past life colliding with her current profession and how they deal with like all those issues. So that one was one of my favorites this year. The next one is Naman Takto Kimsabu 2, which is Dr. Romantic 2. It is a, like I'm sure you guessed, it's a medical drama, and it's the second one. I love the medical ones, and the first one was really good, and I loved seeing a lot of the characters come back, and they also introduced some new characters, which was good as well. For the Chinese subcategory, the first one is Blooms of Rui Pavilion, and it is a historical drama. I recently got into the historical dramas this year, which was unexpected because this whole past time I haven't liked historical dramas, and I've been really adamant about it. But then this year I started watching them, and this one turned out like really good. The plot online for this one says that she suddenly becomes clairvoyant and can see that she'll marry this prince. But honestly, they didn't carry that through the whole drama, which I was surprised. It was like barely mentioned. But it was very good. I liked all the characters, and they did a really good job. So that was one of my top ones of this year. And the second one is In a Class of Her Own. The Chinese title is Piaoliang Shushang, and it is one where she enters into the, I believe it's academy, and she disguises herself as a guy, and it's dealing with the other male leads who also are supporting her, and then slowly figuring out that she's a girl. So that one was very good. The last one that I liked for the Chinese ones is Love is Sweet, and it's dealing with this man and woman who they knew each other when they were younger, and it's dealing with their life and interactions while they're in this workplace. The next subcategory is the English one, and one of my favorite TV shows is Lucifer, and my sister had recommended it to me, and I've been watching it, but recently, this past year, part of the last season came out, and so I watched that, and it was super good. It's about Lucifer, who comes up from hell because he doesn't want to be the devil anymore, and he joins this cop, and they start solving lots of the crimes in LA. The second one on my list is The Fall, and it is a British drama, and it deals with this serial killer and the cop who is trying so hard to get him arrested. And from the start, you know that he is the killer, and it's just really interesting to see how they piece everything together, because you get to see both sides and also like flashbacks from his past and everything. So that was very cool. I do not recommend it if you do not like crime dramas. It was really intense. It was kind of scary for me, and I usually generally like them, but it was very good. I definitely recommend it if you like those kind of things. The next one is Modern Family. I finally watched this TV series. My sister had also recommended me this one, and I just liked how the episodes were really short, and they weren't like so like consecutive story like lots of the dramas. It was more like snapshot from their lives in each different episode, so that was really cool. And it dealt with this one family, so it's like the father and his younger wife, and then his daughter and her family, and his son and his husband and their newly adopted child. And so that was very interesting to see the dynamics between the whole family and just like all the chaos that ensued from that. The last subcategory is Spanish, and I only actually have one drama in this one, and I'm actually still trying to finish it, and I have been trying to finish it for a long time, but it is 177 episodes, and it's very hard for me to focus on it in general, but it is an Argentinian drama called Esperanza Mia. I first discovered it when I was living in Argentina, and it is about this young woman who is running away from after witnessing this like crime, and she takes refuge in this convent, and it's about her life in this convent, interacting with the nuns, and how she starts falling in love with the priest. Okay, that sounds kind of bad, but it's actually a really good TV series. So I recommend that one if you can speak Spanish. It's on YouTube as the full series. I couldn't find it online anywhere else, I think. They don't have subtitles, so sadly you need to speak Spanish for that one. The next category is creators. And so I'm gonna first go through the YouTubers that I watch all the time / follow all the time and have inspired me. So the first one is Michelle Choi, and she is based in New York right now. She's from California, and she does lots of cute vlogs with her dog, and it's just really nice seeing how she's living her life. And she cooks amazingly delicious meals that look so good and have made me want to start cooking more. So hopefully that will inspire me to actually cook more. The next one is Kinda Cool. I've been following her for quite a while. She deals with a lot of beauty lifestyle. I really enjoyed her kind of semi-recent ones where she moved into a new apartment and she was decorating that. Her Instagram is also very nice. The third creator that I really enjoy watching is Dear Nessie. She lived in Korea for a while. She also studied abroad in Beijing for a while, but she is based in Australia, in Sydney to be exact, and she does a lot of lifestyle vlogs as well. A lot of eating, which I enjoy watching. For the Instagrammers section, the first one is Shutu, and she does have a YouTube channel, which is really good. I recommend it, but I love her feed for her Instagram. It looks so put together and like with such nice like warm, cool tones to it, so I really like following her and seeing her feed. The next one on the list is Jam Tuna. His name is actually James. He's based in Sydney, and he does a lot of, he does a lot of photography, but then he animates them as well, so I really enjoy seeing that kind of style because it's not usually the kind of content I follow, so I found his Instagram to be very interesting to me. The next one I follow is Clarissa A. Cindy. She goes by Cindy, and she is living in Korea, and she just takes a lot of pictures of places around Korea which are super beautiful, and I don't know, it's just nice to find out some more places from her. The next one, Ploy's Little Atlas. Her name is Ploy. She's Thai. She is also based in Korea, and she also does the Korean content of nice places to visit in Korea. So I found her content to be very inspiring as well. The next one is one of my all-time favorites. It's Hello Emily, and her pictures are breathtaking. I love her feed, and the quality of her photos is so stunning. The next one is another Korean Instagrammer. He's native Korean. His handle is Fantastic79Vivid, and and his pictures are so good. The quality is so good. The composition of the photos is amazing. If I said, I would say he's probably my favorite photographer that I'm following. The second to last category that I'm doing is podcasts. So the first one that I really enjoyed this past year is Dr. Death. I really like it. It's the crime in the medical field, and so the first season is dealing with this one doctor that injured 33 out of his, I believe, 38 patients, and like his journey through his whole career. The second one that I listened to is Historias Perdidas. It's a Spanish one, and it has lots of stories about, of course, lost stories or lost history. They also have an episode about Dr. Death as well, so that was interesting to listen to in Spanish. The third podcast that I listened to is Ologies. It is one that the one woman who hosts it, she invites guests onto it to talk about their specialties that end with ology. And so one of the recent ones I watched was Medusology, which is the study of jellyfish. I split this into 4 subcategories: Korean, English, Chinese, and Spanish. And for the first category, for the English category, my first artist that I really enjoy is 1111. I just call it loving. We don't break up. I think somewhere's overdue. Could we just do it over? Can we just talk it out like friends? Because I just feel like I am so impatient. I just want your love and I fucking ain't waiting. Yeah, and your kisses I'm craving, but things just don't. It's not about love, so don't tell me that you need me. Not a Now for the Chinese subcategory.
Hey D, hey Bing,黑头发，黑猫，黑眼睛，黑王，当然都是贵宾。我是一个比你穷更高的微信，黑钻，yeah AP。
Now for the Korean songs.
계속 퍼져 너네 nothing 어쩔 때 나는 될 일 없어 진짜 꼰대 질투시기보단 사랑을 해 꼰대 두둑히 챙겨 친구들과 in my pocket 언제부턴지 참지 못하고 이렇게 나 천천히 빠져가는 건지 This cute 여긴 only homegirls bitches 카드를 못 썼네 스피네 표시들 다 보내.
And the last one for today is the Spanish subcategory. Let's go.
como si fuera hoy. No hay nada como ella.
Nunca pensé enamorarme así de los pies a la cabeza. El amor llegó, me atrapó y ahora me...
Una chica del sur, que desde el norte todo la pueden ver. Es la reina de la calle.
That concludes my 2020 favorites. Hopefully you found some new things to check out. Bye!